This is my lorica segmentata, which you may have seen several videos about, and in short, it needs a clean. So what I'm going to do is show you exactly how I clean it and exactly what you're cleaning. I have an upcoming school visit, which I'm very much looking forward to, and this is where I volunteer. You may have seen some of the content I do about it. In short, I turn up, I talk to different age groups about Roman stuff, often in my kit, which means invariably I'll talk a bit about the army, but I like to talk about other things as well, the less gruesome stuff. As you can see, though, yeah, it does get a fair amount of wear and tear, and this is largely through holding it. So you might even see there's some sort of fingerprints of where people are holding it, where I've held the helmet, for example, to take it off, and you can see how it sort of just turns into a bit of rust on the gear, and that's just part and parcel. That's exactly how it is. And in terms of cleaning it, well, I'll show you in a moment, but I won't be cleaning it indoors. It's actually going to be outside. And whilst I'm here, actually, I could show you where and how easy it can be to break down. So you can see the back there, those leather straps, and essentially what happens is you can break this down into quarters. So you've got a quarter up here, you've got a quarter there, and then you've got two lower quarters there. And if you go in, you can see those straps. And what I do is obviously undo the straps, and that means you've got quarters which are far easier to clean, because you can get an idea of where you need to clean from just looking at it, but when it comes to actually doing the cleaning, you want it as easy as you can, because it is largely elbow grease. You know, I'm not going to be sending this away. I'm not going to be using any machinery. It's just going to be me with a couple of cups of tea and the radio on and a few hours on the balcony, which, you know, worse ways to spend the time, I think. And you certainly get the benefits afterwards, and I'll show you afterwards just how much nicer it looks. Here I am then at the business end of it all. I've got one of the quarters that I showed you earlier. I've got my two essential pieces of kit. I've got a glove to make sure I'm not touching the metal too much. I do have another glove as well, which I'll put on, but it's always worth having one on, simply so you're not touching the metal, you're not adding more onto it in terms of, you know, grease and oils from the skin, which starts the process. And I've got grip blocks. Grip blocks I get in various different sizes in terms of how fine and how coarse they are. I start with the coarser ones, and I then use the finer ones to tidy it up and make it look as nice as it can do. But obviously I'm dealing with metal that I've had on a set for well over 10 years now, so it does have its idiosyncrasies, much like its owner, which I think adds to the charm to it, I hope. Anyway, there we go. So I'm just going to crack on with this. I've just finished up on that piece, and you can see that's where the stain or that mark was around there. That's where that rust was. So you can see it's come up pretty nicely. Now, there is a sort of temptation to clean more and more, and it's the sort of law of diminishing returns, because there's only so much you can do to this, and I think I've got it in a pretty good state. Now, these bits here, they're brass fittings. I wouldn't be using the grip pad on these, because if I did, it would just, well, it wouldn't be very good. It would scratch them. I've got metal cleaner for those, and these are quite intricate. They take a lot of time. The temptation is to leave them, because the kids, they're not going to necessarily notice these things. But I try and take a bit of pride, or a bit more pride, in how my armor looks, despite what it looks like sometimes. Hopefully you can see that. That looks quite good, doesn't it? You can see the shining there. You can see, let's have a go. There we go. Look at that. That's looking pretty useful. Yeah, so it does always, I think it's worth doing if you can get some of the polish in there. And this is essentially going to be the whole process for cleaning the armor. I'm going to be using grip pads to try and get some of the surface level muck and bullets, as my dad would always say, off. And then I'm going to be using some polish on the sort of brass pieces here. And yeah, it is quite intricate. It does take a while. But again, I always think it's worth it. What I will do is show you before and after on the helmet, though, because I think it always comes up really quite nicely, largely because it has a lot more brass, so it shines up pretty well. So I've just spent the last couple hours cleaning the main armor, and now it's time for the helmet. And as you can see, there is a lot of rubbish on this. I'll give it a spin. You can see all those sorts of fingerprints round there, around the back as well. And also something you might not be totally aware of is how dull this is. Again, this is one of the cool things about doing the helmet. You can see all the rubbish there. Look at that, blimey. That's where I've sort of picked it up and held it and everything. Again, if you're going to be using this sort of thing, that's what happens, and that's why I have no problems cleaning it, because it's going to be used. But all of this here will come up quite nicely once you get a bit of polish on it, and that's why I really like doing the helmet, because if anything, it showcases a bit more of all the hard work that you put in trying to make it, well, look halfway passable. So here we go. It's going to be about another sort of 45 minutes, an hour hard work, but again, hopefully worth it. Look at that. It's come out really, really well. So again, I use the grip pad to get a lot of that rust off and all those marks, and then I used some standard metal polish. It's just come up lovely, all of that there. There's no marks or anything else. Going around the back as well. Yeah, always worth doing it. And again, I often think, should I? But with the helmet, it's always worth it because it does look good. Anyway, there we go. So that's that done. I'm going to put it back together and then I'll show it to you in its entirety. Here we are then. Lots of hard work's gone into this. I am really sore. In fact, I'm scared to sit down because I won't be able to stand up properly. Here's the armour. Let's have a look up close and see what it looks like. Starting from the top, the helmet's looking pretty good now. As you can see, that's come up really nice. It's all shiny. All that rubbish has been taken off the surface. The same really goes with the main part of the armour. And I think it was here that we saw quite a lot of rust and grime and all sorts. And yeah, that's all come off due to the grip pads, but also that I've been able to bring up the brass there, and that's looking really quite nice, as you can see, and hopefully that will last a bit. So there we are. Now I've spent a good few hours cleaning the armor. The game is on to try and keep it as close to this as possible, and you are fighting a losing game because armor, it's going to do what it does. It's going to rust, it's going to pick up all sorts of muck because you're using it, you're wearing it outdoors, you're showing it to people, people are touching it, holding it. That's part of the game. So that's baked in. That's what you expect. But you can still try and mitigate that as much as you can. There are a couple of ways to do that, and I've used both. One is to give it a wipe over every so often with metal polish, and that's one possibility I could do now. Downsides to that, it then does smell a bit metal polishy because I've been using quite a bit of polish on it anyway. Not always great as well because I keep this in the hallway, and therefore my hallway might accrue the smell of a sort of MOT centre, which isn't really the vibe I'm going for. The other option is to use sheep's wool fat, and a word that I can never pronounce right, lanolin. That's right, yeah, lanolin, or sheep's wool fat. It's thought that this may have been something Romans used. They certainly would have used something in terms of being able to keep the moisture off the armour as much as they can, because they wanted to protect and keep it as in good nick as possible, because obviously this is really important. It's literally a lifesaver. The good thing about it is it's a natural product, so it doesn't smell. The downside is it takes quite a while to put on, and it's not going to make it shinier, though again, the aesthetics of that aren't really what I'm going for. This has got all sorts of blemishes, knocks on it, and you know, that's part of the charm, I think, or at least I hope. So there we go. So there's another couple of options. And one final thing that I should mention that I think does get underlooked. The leather on this also needs to be looked after. And you can do that using various types of treatments. You can buy sort of polishes, leather nourishment things that you just rub on, leave on for a while. So every so often, again, I'll break it down into its components and I'll just give the leather a good wipe and leave it for a couple of days just so it can like nourish the leather and make it hopefully last that bit longer, because that's really important. Which does bring me to a point that when you're trying to clean the armor, sometimes you need to work out what you're using and how it will react to the leather, because again, this is perishable. So I've seen people using, and I won't use the names of any of these items because I don't know if I should, but you can buy sprays and things like that that are going to clean the armor. But if they get on this, it's going to be a problem. So always remember, you're cleaning several pieces or several types of material when you're doing that with this armor. So make sure that what you're using for one isn't going to impact on the other. And obviously I've said about when I use the grip pads, I'm making sure I'm not trying to get too much contact on these pieces here. And likewise, when I'm using anything like to do with the polish, I'm making sure that I'm trying to keep it off this as much as possible. Because again, I want to make sure that this stays as good condition as possible. Because you only find out when these things go, as has been my experience, when they go. And you'll be kitting up and all of a sudden something will go boom. and then all of a sudden you realize that perhaps a clip here is broken. I'm lucky enough that I found someone local, a blacksmith who's really, really good, who was able to fix a couple of these pieces for me, but I don't want to have to do that too often. And again, maintenance is not just making it look good, maintenance is making it do its job and keep it in as good nick as you can. Anyway, taking up lots of your time. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you've got any questions, put them in the comments as well. And I'll be putting up some pics of my school visit, I hope, when the school release them to me. So look out for them as well.